Hello game fans and welcome back to the Steam Chamber. Today we review an indie game called Master Reboot from Wales Interactive. Now this bills itself as an adventure horror exploration game. However, I'd say it's fairly light on the horror, and I'd say the exploration part is definitely the biggest chunk of it, with some horror elements, but it's definitely more about the puzzles and the environment than it is anything else. Now, in Master Reboot, we are in the not too distant future in a world where death is no longer final. There is something from Mystery Industries called the Soul Cloud. So what happens is when you die, but either before you die or once you die, before you die rather, or once you die, your family can upload your memories to the Soul Cloud, and this allows your family to come and visit you, but also for you to continue your existence within the Soul Cloud as well. And each person is uploaded into their own island, which is inhabited by various different buildings that house different types of memories. So, for instance, you'll have your school memories and your driving memories and your hospital memories and such. And in the game, you are exploring these different memories, and it's sort of a puzzle. The puzzle element really comes in with you are essentially exploring who you are. You aren't given any clue at first to who you are, or to whether you're even dead or whether you're someone visiting. None of that is clear. All that is clear is that you are alone, and well, you're not entirely alone, but you are trying to figure out as a gamer and also as a character, trying to find out exactly who you are and what's going on. Now, every now and then you are also stalked by a young girl who will appear from time to time and will also jump out on you from time to time. However, the game isn't massive into scare tactics, it's more about atmosphere. Now, the gameplay itself is very, very simple. You have 34 unique environments, and you really are just wandering on often a very linear path, looking for various different clues and parts of puzzles. Now, with clues, these come in the form of small ducks. Now, these ducks, it's explained in the game, are used to convey messages to those uploaded to the Soul Cloud from those still living. So in the game, these take the place in clues of your identity. However, it's not quite sure early on who you are, as the clues relating to identity refer to 3 different people who seem to be intrinsically linked, and these are people that are something to do with the Soul Cloud. So these various clues might be things like report cards from school, articles in the newspaper and such, radio shows, and you also have slight clues when you complete various different puzzles as well, but I'll get on to that in a moment. Now, the puzzles are fairly simple, but not too taxing, but not too bad either. They're very, very different. Each one is very, very different. There's not a common theme. For instance, early on, if you are in the school, you have 3 different puzzles that you have to complete, and in another one you are in a park and you have several puzzles to complete. But essentially what happens is you take yourself from the main hub into one of these types of memory. When you get in there, you have various different puzzles to complete, and you have to fill the red maintenance squares, or cubes rather. Once you've filled these cubes, you are then able to access the blue cubes, which allow you full access to the memory. And once you access this, so in order to access this, you complete the puzzles in the different environment. Once you've completed this and you get access to the blue cube, you then get access to a small cartoon animated memory, which gives you something of a clue towards your life and also your death. once you've done that, you can also then use the green cubes to get to and from various locations. Now, if you get stuck on a puzzle, you don't have to sit there and twiddle your thumbs. You can go back, use the green cubes, go back to the hub, and you can decide to do another environment for the time being. Now, as for the environments, as I say, they were very, very varied. The art style for the game is fairly consistent, however, it does switch between a neon sort of Tron-like version of its normal self. But the artwork is really, really very nice. It's very simple, but also very atmospheric at the same time. So the first place where you start in a wooded area when you're sort of trying to find your way. And this level is pretty much just a tutorial. But the game looks fantastic, especially in this level. The way the light comes through the trees, the way the shadows work, look really, really nice. However, it's really very simple at the same time. They've done a really nice job of balancing simplicity with style in terms of the art style. The music really lends itself to this as well, as the music's quite simple but also very, very atmospheric and works very, very well with the art style, and the sound assets for the game as well really do just lift that little bit more as well. They've put a lot of effort into the sound effects for the game, and some of the sound effects, some of them are a little bit dodgy at times, but some of them are really very good and very well placed, and they do really just highlight the game, and it all comes together to create this really nice stylized package. Now, as I say, there are 34 different unique environments, and each one of these environments represents a different part of your past life, or a memory, as it is in the game. Now, each of these environments contains anything from one to several puzzles. In some cases, it might be one puzzle with several parts, such as the case with the playground level, or in other cases, like the school level, it might be 3 entirely separate puzzles that, once completed, allow you to move on to the next. Now, you can do these environments in relatively any order you wish. They are categorized into different sort of stages. From the main hub, you have access to about 4 at a time. Once you complete one of those 4 in any order you wish, it unlocks the next 4 and you're able to go through, and you are slowly piecing together bits of your memory in order to move on and to identify yourself. And as I mentioned earlier, you get these animated sequences. You can reevaluate these by going to the center of the hub and clicking on any squares that represent memories that are completed in order for you to build up a picture of what's going on. Also, you're able to access any of the clues that you get from the ducks throughout the game if you go and check the pedestals next to the doors to the memories. Overall, I think this is a really nice little indie game, and I know there are a lot of games in this sort of genre, in the sort of exploration and atmospheric and horror genre. However, I don't want to fall too heavily on the horror element. There are some quite jumpy horror moments. However, this game is very much about exploration and adventure, and the art style that they've created really lends itself well to that and works. It all just works really, really nicely. It's a really nice game. I think it's pretty reasonably priced at, I do believe it is £12. I think that's really reasonably priced for a game of this length and a game of this depth. Like I say, it's got quite simple gameplay mechanics. However, it does all work very well together. The game is available now, and there will be a link below as always. And as always, please do like, comment and subscribe, as it really does help us out. Thanks.